22, the warning came. Isaac Rankine was playing the game. 158 the week before. Then he kicked the bloody door. 223 on the board tonight. A double ton under stadium lights. Owners dancing, screaming with glee. That's my boy, Isaac Rankine. Meanwhile, Dawson's gone missing again. Essendon and Richmond, pain on pain. While one Crow Star tears it apart, the other one's breaking our heart. Rankine, Rankine, 223. He's single-handedly destroying me. If you've got him, you're laughing loud. If you don't, you're not so proud. Rankine, Rankine. The finals weapon's here, and every non-owner's filled with fear. Your opponent's got him captains too. There goes your bloody finals run for you. Yo. You fought all year to make the 8. Thought you'd finally tempt your fate. Then Rankine walks into your finals game, and suddenly you're praying for rain. Captain's armband upon his chest. 2, 2, 3, he passed the test. One player, one score, one deadly blow, and there goes your final show. Dawson missing, Rankine killing. One's got owner celebrating. One's got coaches absolutely seething. 2, 2, 3, what a score! And if you face him next week, you're screwed before the bounce. Rankine, Rankine, 2, 2, 3, the biggest nightmare in SuperCoach history. 158, then 2, 2, 3, he's turned into a SuperCoach beast. Owners rejoice, let the champagne flow. Non-owners watch their season go. When finals football comes around, you pray that Rankine doesn't come to town. Hey! Round 22, the warning came. Isaac Rankine was playing the game. 158 the week before. Then he kicked the bloody door. 2, 2, 3 on the board tonight. A double ton under stadium lights. Owners dancing, screaming with glee. That's my boy, Isaac Rankine. Meanwhile, Dawson's gone missing again. Essendon and Richmond, pain on pain. While one Crow Star tears it apart, the other one's breaking our heart. Rankine, Rankine, 2, 2, 3. He's single-handedly destroying me. If you've got him, you're laughing loud. If you don't, you're not so proud. Rankine, Rankine. The finals weapon's here, and every non-owner's filled with fear. Your opponent's got him captains too. There goes your bloody finals run for you. Yo. You fought all year to make the 8. Thought you'd finally tempt your fate. Then Rankine walks into your finals game, and suddenly you're praying for rain. Captain's armband upon his chest. 2, 2, 3, he passed the test. One player, one score, one deadly blow, and there goes your final show. Dawson missing, Rankine killing. One's got owner celebrating. One's got coaches absolutely seething. 2, 2, 3, what a score! And if you face him next week, you're screwed before the bounce. Rankine, Rankine, 2, 2, 3, the biggest nightmare in SuperCoach history. 158, then 2, 2, 3, he's turned into a SuperCoach beast. Owners rejoice, let the champagne flow. Non-owners watch their season go. When finals football comes around, you pray that Rankine doesn't come to town. Hey!
Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome back to SuperCoach Edge, and perfect timing for that song. Perfect timing, isn't it? Another week, another round of being absolutely laid down flat, applied the lube, and Isaac himself has just done whatever he wants. He has single-handedly sunk my finals campaign, I think, across the past 3 weeks. I don't know about you out there, if you're an owner of Isaac Rankine, as he's being pronounced in the song, but you'd be a happy camper if you are. But I'm in a few cash leagues remaining in the prelim, of course. And last week I was bundled out in one of my main cash leagues due to Isaac Rankin because my opponent was down 2 players. And even so, not only did he own Isaac Rankin for his 2-2-3, but he captained him. And that in itself sunk my battleship in that league, as it were. This week, of course, the round's pretty much done. My season is done after 1 game because of Isaac Rankin. And then, of course, not just in combination with him, is that man, Josh Worrell. One of my first upgrades, I think, or we call it upgrades very loosely. He has got to be one of the more disappointing players that I've brought into my team in recent times. I cannot believe, like, my first upgrade is coming back to haunt me. It really is amazing. Alongside him, of course, is the man that I like to call Shao Kahan, of course, Hall Kahan. He actually did pretty well. He salvaged somewhat of a score towards the back end. His run and carry looked pretty good, must admit. But his disposal efficiency, which, again, I want to touch on, because last week, I mean, Isaac played an absolutely incredible game against Richmond in the wet conditions. It was great, granted. I don't think it was worth a score of 223. In fact, I reckon tonight's game, you could probably argue, is probably around about the same sort of level of score of what he should have got last week. But the main reason being was his disposal efficiency. Now, if you're getting a score off the back of one statistical metric, it just goes to show the SuperCoach scoring system needs an overhaul. You can't just be placing that much emphasis on a disposal efficiency in terms of a stat line, in terms of impact. It's crazy. It really is crazy. And like Shao Kahan, for example, like he was getting the ball, disposal efficiency was off, yes, granted, but as the game wore on, it actually improved. And yet, because his early disposals were poor, he was unable to make up the ground that he had. I think he was on -1 or -2 early days. But gee whiz, it's getting to the point now where frustration is boiling over with SuperCoach. And it's probably, obviously due to the fact of frustration of not owning these highly, scored players. But really, it makes you wonder. It really does. Let's jump across to the chat, and of course, we'll bring up the scores and go through them in a little bit more detail. But my word, the season cannot finish quick enough, I don't think, when it comes to SuperCoach. I must admit, like at least 2 weeks ago, heading into the finals, my interest levels had kind of been waning, and they always do, as I said previous weeks. But just the combination of injuries week after week after week, and despite holding onto trades for as long as I could tactically, I thought, here we go, this is going to be my point of difference. No. I wasn't spared injuries like other people, and despite my best laid efforts to try and hold onto my trades, it really just amounted for nothing, really. So very frustrating. But the great man himself, one of my good friends over on the Carlton side of things, of course, only Carlton, go and check out his channel, give him a sub, give him a like, does some incredible stuff. Fellow bagger himself, like my good self. And he's not even, I don't think Atushu even plays SuperCoach. So I'm really impressed that you're actually jumped across and you're on this sister channel to SuperCoach, the OG really, because SuperCoach Edge on YouTube was the founding father of my content creation. So good to see you over here, mate. And thank you for joining us and for your support, of course. And you've asked, what is blessing my ears right now? What is this melody? It is, of course, the Round remix song that pieced together heading into this round 23, virtually just summarising the week that was for the previous week. And as you would have got the gist, there's a bit of a different side of the coin when it comes to Isaac Rankin. It's either you own him and you're celebrating, or you don't own him and you're commiserating and drowning your sorrows. And I've felt that side of it for 3 weeks now. But yeah, it's quite apt in a sense, because Isaac Rankin for me has been a frustrating own. 2025, he got suspended for 4 weeks for, what was it? Oh no, he got suspended, last year for, it was for 4 weeks, but was after round 23 for his homophobic slur. And then, of course, 2024 was even worse. I owned him. He played one game, then he got suspended for 4 weeks. I held him. Then he came back, and I held him due to lack of trades. He came back, and his very first game back got concussed by Dan Houston and was out, I think, until the last round of the season or thereabouts. And yeah, it's just ridiculous. It just goes to show that you've got to have some luck going your way. That's for sure. Corey, I'm going to lose my matchup for sure this week now, as I've got 5 out, mate. Gee whiz, just pack her in. I reckon just put SuperCoach on the back burner, I reckon, after this. And it's frustrating because, I mean, when you're out of trades, the only, I guess, fun part of it that you kind of have control over is your VC and your C, and maybe looping off the bench. But even then, like, you can't do that at the moment. Like, a lot of people, bar, of course, one of my Cash League opponents who arsely has, I don't even know that's a word, but I will coin it, in terms of the luck that they had, very arsey. They had Richards being out of their team due to injury, and of course he makes a return miraculously for the prelim finals, and he now has a full suite of 23 players, and I am down a player, potentially two, if the hornbag doesn't get up. But 5 players out. My opponent traded out Nas and has Rankin, of course, mate. Last week scored 2102 and still won my matchup against a 2099, mate. Very, very lucky there. You had some luck on your way, at least, with regards to that. But, mate, it is annoying. Judah Nass is my opponent and has as a 23rd. My God. Yeah, he's a gun. He's a gun, Isaac, of course. But frustrating tonight. Again, I don't know why opposition teams don't pay respect to players that have smashed it in previous weeks. Like, here's the barometer. You saw against Richmond. Like, Adelaide probably should have lost that game. They were in all sorts, really. Conditions were bad, of course, but you'd think they would have done some homework and thought, at least, if not tag him, at least play someone on him. But he was free to run around all night. Crazy. Don't forget to bring up the latest predictor tonight. Is that in terms of course, the prospects for us? I mean, it doesn't really bode well for St Kilda, because we, of course, Carlton, play Freo next week. And you'd think Freo now, I think, have sewn up the minor premiership, which means they'll more than likely rest some players. You'd think they would be resting the likes of Hayden Young, Alex Pearce, who copped a hit to his knee. So all those sort of things. So we might actually get a win next week. Who knows? But first and foremost, Carlton have to beat the Doggies, and then we'll be celebrating after that. Jonas, of course, the ranked pig string held together the 1 year I didn't own him, mate. As I said, as I just went through, 2024 was a disaster. Almost didn't own him in 2025. And then, of course, I was burnt again in the round 24, of course, all-important grand final, and he virtually lost me off the back of it. So that's the reason why I haven't owned him this year. It's uber frustrating. Anyway, Corey, crazy the Isaac Rankin has been like 200 points since round 18, more than Dawson. I know. And it was sliding doors because sliding Dawson. But sliding doors really because I had the choice of going between Dawson and Rankin. And of course, with my past history of the Rankin over the past 2 seasons, I was like, nope. And Dawson, he was the 6th best averaging midfielder at the point that I got him in. And of course, facing Richmond and Essendon, how could you not get him in? But went against my gut and shouldn't have gone for him. I don't rate Dawson in SuperCoach at all. I've spoken about it in the past, but went against my gut. And of course, he is the sort of player that I pick, and he goes to shit when I own him. When I don't own him, he actually goes half decently. I've had 4 tons tonight, which is great. There is still a chance, but I don't see me winning. Well, mate, I feel you there. I think Adelaide have pretty much sunk me collectively on both sides. Not owning Rankin, but also Dawson. not doing, not shooting the lights out, but that's kind of the lesser worry. But it's more so Worrell doing stuff all, and Hawker Hahn, who I had the chance of potentially trying to loop. I would have had to, because I have Hawker Hahn, I had him on my mid-bench, and Nas, of course, being in my defence. I had the chance of maybe switching Nas actually leaving Nas in defence, and then switching Parker from defence into the midfield, and then switching Kahan into defence, and then using a little bit of a loop on Kahan as emergency off the bench. But in doing that, it would have meant that I would have had to, if Hawker Hahn went shit, I would have had to have chosen between Dirksen. And if Hawker Hahn actually went well, I would have had to have chosen, I think, between would have been another. I think it would have been Dirksen and someone else, I think. So wouldn't have been a decent move for me to make. But I mean, he came back and scored a 60 odd, I think. So I'll take it anyway. But very frustrating. Whilst we're chatting, let me just get through on the other tab, and we'll check out the scores for this game. What a frustrating game SuperCoach is. It normally is this time of year, but it seems like it's more often than not. So these are the scores here, as you can see. So Luke Jackson, thankfully, only 111. Now, one of my Cash League opponents has the VC on him, so a little bit of a silver lining there in terms of all of the shit show that I had to wade through in this game. So it could have been worse. That would have been the cherry on top had he absolutely smashed it. But it means my opponent has virtually wasted his VC. So at least that's a little bit of an advantage for me, provided my VC can absolutely smash it. So, I mean, there's contingencies, of course. But having said that, Jordan Clark, I think he scored one of his bigger games in a long while. Of course, when my Cash League opponent owns him. So that's always good to see. But Caleb Sarong top scored for Freo 124, Brayshaw 116. Jordan Clark, as I said, 114. Jackson 111. Shea Bolton with a 109. Just scrolling down. Hayden Young, for anyone that owned him, 77. That's probably about it there. For the Crows, of course, as Isaac Rankin, my word, 39 disposals, 9 marks, 6 tackles, 1 goal, 3. 15 contested possessions. Now, I think looking at that stat line and watching him tonight, you could probably give him a 2-2-3 off the back of that. Probably more so than last week. Crazy. Lockie McAndrew, I don't know anyone that still owns him apart from Liam, of course. SuperCoach Edge's very own, who I was chatting to via Facebook Messenger, and he was saying that surprisingly, he has no idea how, but he's not having a donut this week. He is having a full suite of 23 players. Mind you, a lot of them are shit-kicking rookies off the bench, but hey, they're covered nonetheless, so you'll take it. Jordan Dawson, 107. Yeah, just whatever. Braden let him cook, 73. Looked really good. I thought I actually played a better game than a score of 73. Hawker Hahn, a 61. So salvaged something in the end because he was, as I said, he was on -2 or whatever, -1 at quarter break. Josh Worrell, my word. This bloke has got to be the most overrated dude of all time. The most overrated player in SuperCoach. But mind you, I mean, we talk about sliding doors. It probably could have been worse because the other option I was thinking of, choosing between would have been Worrell, a Houston, or it would have been Clark. So, if I had Clark, he would have busted on a nice score tonight, but very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Let the record show that SuperCoach purely here because Damo is a funny guy. Thank you, mate. Appreciate your support as always, mate. And as I said, when Jonas comes across from, of course, this channel to, even though he's a baggers man himself as well, but he gives us a bit of, cross-channel coverage as well and, support. Along with a couple of others as well, one of which is Essendon support, and he comes across and supports us over on Blue Baggers Edge, which is incredible. But I always say, if you're supporting us on an alternate channel, you're virtually like a cheerleader. Now, it's up to you. Your choice as to what attire you want to wear, whether it be a skirt, a dress, mini skirt, or nothing at all. Now, as we said, Atush, during our live stream, I'm actually wearing a crop jumper. Not many people know that, but you can see me from my nipples down. So if I have a little bit of a incredible round of SuperCoach, you might see me stand up. Just a bit of a treat. Jonas, HHK61 or Field and Thilthorpe 70. Did he score 70? Sorry, I missed him in his in the little rundown. Shit, he did too. He did really well to come back from that because he was scoring just as badly as Xiao Kahan, wasn't he? That's a tough one with Anand because I think he is. Who's he playing? St Kilda. Oh, yeah, St Kilda give up some points. I mean, not as good as what they have previously with regards to points to opposition defenders, but I reckon it'll be touch and go with that, Jonas. And Thilthorpe 70 or Fitzgerald on field, assuming Horn Francis plays. Otherwise, it won't matter. I think Fitzgerald is a decent shout, but it seems as though every time I suggest Fitzgerald, he doesn't go well. And every time I say fade Fitzgerald, he goes well. He plays Port Adelaide, though, and Port are giving up points to opposition mids from memory. Let me just have a quick squeeze at DFS Australia, because I'm pretty sure they do. Let's have a squeeze. Let's have a Captain Cook, as they say. In the last 5, Port give up, for the mids, the third, 6th most. Recent scores, pretty good. Goulden, 134. 123 to Warner. 103 to Bedford. McCluggage, 149. Ashcroft, 137. Zach Bailey, 126. Game prior to that, Sarong, 130. 100 to Brayshaw. Game prior to that, 113 Garcia. Philippou, 109. So they do give up points, but it looks as though to mainly their, at least 2 midfielders. Does it extend to Fitzgerald? I mean, Fitzgerald is a bit of a accumulator. So I don't know. It depends on your matchup, Jonas, as to whether or not you need to take sort of roll the dice, take a risk. But I don't mind taking the risk. But 70 is a pretty good score to lock in, must be said. Interesting. I'll get up my team in a moment as well, but let's have a quick squeeze to see what the last 10 is for Port. So does their run extend to 10 games? So 3, 6, 7, 8. No, they're 8th. They can see the 8th most over the past 10, but yeah, it doesn't really give you much more of an edge there looking at that stat, but I don't mind them. I honestly don't mind them. I have to play Fitzgerald because Bont is out. But interesting. Interesting indeed. I'm just trying to log in to my team on an alternate tab, so just give me a quick moment. Alrighty, so I'll just bring up my team so we're chatting, so I can just fill the space and not looking at my rude head. Corey, still can't believe 2 people in the top 100 have 3. How is that possible, Corey? Now, who said that? Is that in the official podcast? They've mentioned that? I assume it would be because they've got access to that data, don't they? That's crazy. That is super crazy. Like, what are they doing in the top 100 if they've got 3 trades? They must not have a fully upgraded team. I'd love to see their team. I don't know if they mentioned who they were. They probably didn't. But if they did, Corey, let us know and we'll search up their team because I'm genuinely interested. Surely they don't have a full, or at least, best 22 of Primos. Kate, I've been hacked on most of my apps. Are you able to please publish the Discord details as I need to get reset up there among other apps? That's terrible, Kate. How did that happen? Like, don't tell me it was on the Twitter because Twitter have that stupid thing. If anyone slides into your DMs, if this isn't it, but just heed my warning. If anyone slides into DMs asking for your assistance in voting for some poll, I think it's like a podcast award or something, and they want you to vote for them, do not click the link and do not vote for them because clicking the link actually gives them your Twitter details via the link they provide. There's been a few people actually hacked, and I think Terry from Blue Abroad is actually one of those who has been hacked in recent times. Yeah, I think you're right there. It's an art contest. Just quickly looking down the comments there, Tushai, correct. So if it is that, and you haven't yet seen it, but you are to see it in the future, don't click the link. I just tell them to go get fucked, honestly. and say, come up with a new idea, you bloody non-creative dickheads. Jonas, we're going to play Collingwood first week of finals for sure. We'll bring up the ladder in a moment because I know you're keen. I know you are very keen. What is this? 2 Joules Silver Star. I don't know what this is. A tush. I'm out of touch here. No, it's the children who are out of touch, as Seymour Skinner says. But thank you. I don't know what that is. Again, it seems like some sort of present. So I'm going to assume it's not a dick in a box. If it is, and I open the lid and it's your dick in a box, I'll still be, it is a present. So I'll say thank you because I'm not an arsehole. But Atush, thank you. You are a legend, mate. I don't know what that is. Again, I don't even know what it means. What do I do with it? Do I gift it to someone? I don't know what it is, but thank you, mate. You are an absolute legend, as you always know. I love you, Atush. We go deep, of course. The navy blue blood, it runs deep. So thank you, mate. I really do appreciate your support. Jumping on. You don't even play SuperCoach, and you're here, having a yarn, having a good time, and providing banter, which we absolutely love. Corey, I did the same, went Dawson over Rankin at the same time, was my 2 decisions at the time. It's always the way, isn't it? You're deciding between 2 players, and you always choose, or more often than not, you choose the wrong option. It's incredible. Darren is that man I was speaking of in terms of supporters that come across from this channel to Blue Baggers Edge, and he is a Bombers man. So that speaks to his absolute, legendary status. And in terms of being a great bloke, not a good bloke, a great bloke. Daz, so thanks for joining us as always, mate. Spew, I took myself out of VC for Rankin. Great man. Have Washcroft, VC, either Nicky D or Warner. Mate, you'd be going for VC on Washcroft for sure. But yeah, Nicky D or Warner for the C. I'm not a fan of Warner. Warner, to me, is very much hit or miss. I know he's been in some pretty good form and he's facing Essendon. So it probably makes sense in terms of matchup. Nicky D is an interesting one because facing, who is it? He's got Hawthorn. He won't get tagged, will he? I don't think he will. But his scores haven't been the best in recent times. Like, played them earlier this season, 103, 99, 116. So, I don't know, but it is Dacos and he's in great form. Bloody good game tonight. Hope you've seen Dudley's fabulous. Man, that was an incredible goal. I think he's actually, now correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he's Eddie Betts' cousin. Good old Eddie, which speaks to the absolute talent that runs deep in their family and bloodline, if that's the case. He's an absolute, he is something special. He is something special, Dudley. So he just got raw talent, and he's got that nous. He knows where the goals are. Doesn't even have to, he could actually play blindfolded, and I reckon he'd kick a bag of goals. Because the way that he's that fancy footwork out of the situation he was in, the sticky situation, gee whiz, to then kick the goal as well. What a gun. Corey, at least my opponent is Jackson VC. I still own McAndrew. Well, mate, you've done well with McAndrew. That's for sure. So you're the second person I know that owns McAndrew still, alongside Liam. Atush, please stop right there. You'll be getting the masses a bit hot under the collar if they're wearing a collar and a shirt at that. So thank you, Atush. You're giving me a little bit of a thought. Jonas, are we just casually throwing around C-bombs now, are we? Now, it's one of those things. We're coming to the end of the season. We are past the almost approaching the midnight hour. So it's almost after dark here, Jonas. So we can throw it around, but just liberally, but not too liberally. As long as it is said with a little bit of vigor, and you mean it. Dossie said it the other day, 3 trades. There you go. I'd love to see the data they have access to. Yeah, it's the art contest scam. An ex-boyfriend did it. Stay single, people. You serious? That is so fickle. I would not even think of doing that, Kate. That is super fickle. So let me just grab the link. And this obviously also applies to anyone that that hasn't yet joined our SuperCoach Edge Discord. You are more than welcome to do so. Of course, the link is always in the description here on YouTube and via our audio podcast. So if you do get kicked out or you tongue got absolutely tied, then if you've been meaning to join our Discord and you have yet to do so and you're like, where's the link? It's always in our description. So just remember that. But Kate, here it is just for you. I'll pop it in the chat here. Click on that and you will be prompted to sign up, which I think means that we'll probably disable, or you can leave your old account on there. It doesn't matter unless your ex-boyfriend wants to jump on and have a yarn about SuperCoach, and we'll absolutely get into him. We'll get into him, Kate. Don't you worry about that. But gee whiz, what a fickle person. Let's just say that. We can pretend it's a dick in a box. Well, mate, I still don't know what it is. So it could pretty much be a dick in a box, whatever that is. So again, thank you. Is there a prompt actually? Because I'll open up YouTube and see if it says anything different. But it just says center star for 2 joules. I don't know what that is. I feel like a boomer now. Am I a boomer? I'm not a boomer actually, but I feel like, in terms of not being across tech, which I work with, I don't know how to do that. Interesting. You've opened up my world there, Tush, in more ways than one. I can sort him out. Let me know exactly. G'day, L. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Hopefully you've had a better start to this round compared to myself. He's a great man, Kate. He's a Tush. He's a great Carlton man, but also a great bloke as well. Not SuperCoach related. Does it make any difference finishing 8th or 10th? So we'll go through it, ladies and gents. We'll go through the ladder predictor because it was, of course, a request from Jonas. So let us do just that. So this is, let me just zoom out. This is the ladder as it looks at the moment. Hopefully that's coming up on screen. So from what I can gather, 7th plays 10th and 8th plays 9th. Is that correct? So it's like the top 4 virtually. So the top team in that bracket faces the bottom team in that bracket, and then the 2 teams in the middle face each other. So it looks as though, based upon if we were to beat the Bulldogs this round, we would go ahead of them into 9th. And if things stay the same, Collingwood will play Carlton in the first wildcard, or the wildcard week, I should say. And then, of course, Geelong plays the Bulldogs. But again, 2 rounds to come, or 2 games to come for all these teams. So we'll wait and see how things turn out there. But even if Carlton was to beat Bulldogs and Freo, it would mean that they go to, a grand total of 52 points. So they would almost be, the Cats should beat North Melbourne, you'd think. So they'll be, Carlton can't overtake Geelong, but they could go into 8th spot is kind of the highest that we could go. So, Jonas, as you've said there, Adelaide 7th v Bulldogs. Yeah, so 7th plays 10th and 8th plays 9th. So, but in terms of what difference it makes, I think you get a home finalist. Oh no, do they get a home final? Anyone that knows? I don't know across. I assume that would be some sort of advantage, but potentially not, because it's considered I don't know. Who knows the AFL really? Like, we could be playing on Mars, and it would not surprise me because it's the AFL. But you would think if you're finishing higher than your wildcard opponent, that you're getting an advantage in terms of a home final. But correct me if I'm wrong, because that may be wrong. Boomer, nerd. Yep, that's me. Feel like a boomer. Darren, would Gawn be a better captaincy option? Sorry, I haven't watched your captain show yet. Well, let me get my predictor up on screen, if it lets me. I might have to close the, where are we? Oh, here we go, image file. Where is it? So I need to access my server because it's very slow. And it needs to reload. So we'll wait for it to reload, and I'll add it to this screen, and it's frozen. Hopefully the stream isn't frozen. There we go. I think we're here. I think we're in. That's what she said. Around 23. Output. Captains, graphics, top 5 options. So this is, if it loads. Just taking the sweet ass time. So this is what I have this week. So I've got Goulden as my number one captaincy option. And the grades alongside them is sort of my grade, sort of confidence grade. So I'm confident that Goulden is going to almost very close to an A plus. Probably could have given him an A minus, really, Goulden. But which I think he's always A minus less than A. He's an A anyway. He's very close to an A plus. Ashcroft is the player that I'm second most confident in. Should absolutely have his way with Gold Coast. Goulden, of course, playing Essendon. They're not going to be able to stop him, really. Maxi Gawn against Port. Now, Gawn has turned up in every single game bar one and loves playing Port Adelaide. A great average against them. So, again, check out the captaincy video because I go into detail for each player in terms of, historical averages, all that sort of stuff, what the opponent concedes to that player in their position, X, Y, and Z. In fourth, Isaac Henny, not in the best form, we know that, but again, facing Essendon, they're not going to be able to tag. I reckon there will be a host of players that get off the chain. So I can see shades of Baslinka in this game, like Heaney. So Baz been in some pretty ordinary form heading into the Essendon game last week. I predicted he was going to have a very nice game. Smashed out at 161 and back in form. So I think Heaney has that opportunity here himself as well. And then Lachie Neale, obviously playing alongside Ashcroft against Gold Coast. They concede, I think, the second most points to opposition mids. So there's that. And then my smoky for the round is Brodie Grundy. Now, Brodie Grundy is my smoky because his form hasn't been the best. But I am a little bit worried that maybe if the Swans are up by a fair amount, that Dean Cox may choose to sort of, manage him in-game. That's the one thing I'm worried about because he has been managed in the back part of the year in terms of being rested and everything else being, made to share the ruck, all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of my thinking around the top five there, and Brodie Grundy as my smoky. Now, if you want to have a look in terms of what or how I fared the previous round, let me bring that up on screen because I will toot my own horn and say that I actually had a decent round, but just not personally because I went for Jordan Dawson like an absolute idiot. I should actually follow my own captaincy advice. You would think I would do that, but no, I don't do that because I'm an idiot. The recap, it would be, where is it? It'll be in there, that folder. Here it is here. So this is when it loads. That is how I fared last round. So Dacos, my number one ranking captain, scored a 132. Our number two, Isaac Rankin, with a 223. So hopefully for anyone that owns Rankin, obviously would own Dacos, you would think, you would have put the VC on Rankin, given Dacos played the last game of the round, and you would have been absolutely riding into the sunset. So I wish that I owned Rankin because I would have been doing that every single day of the week. Dawson, 108, is my third ranked, absolute plotter he is. In fourth, Baslinka, 161, and Goulden with the 134. And I think Sheasel was my smoky on this, scored, I think his first sub-ton game for the first time in a while, but pretty decent round, that's for sure. Let's hope that we can have a decent round again. But I would say, as you can see there, Gawn is a decent captaincy option. And you were saying that Washcroft. So I would probably go for Washcroft, as you can see there, ahead of Gawn. I do rate that. And I think, does Washcroft play before Gawn? I think he does, doesn't he? Yep. I would probably go Washcroft into Gawn, in all honesty, or you could bypass Gawn and go for, as you said, one of the two Swans guys that you have, I think. Who did you say you had? I'm just scrolling up. You got Nicky D or Warner. Yeah. I actually rate. I don't think Dacos is going to have a massive game this round. I think you have a big game, but I don't think a massive one. Whereas I think Gawn, for me, has a fair bit of upside. Yeah, so, and as a captain for me anyway, he's, or potential captain, he's, I think, probably going to be my VC, I should say. But, Yeah, if you're going to have him as captain, he's got a very high floor. Obviously, only scored the one game below a ton for the entirety of the year. So crazy. So I just spotted this. Sorry, masturbator. Uncle Aka, he is here, of course, the great man. Another one who supports us across both channels. Some absolute legends across both of these channels, really. Are the rumours true? What rumours? That you're a spy? Work for Big Dairy, or are you actually a dentist and we just can't see your face? You know the old ad. This is a tush. He's a dentist, and it's like filming the dentist with his like towel around his waist. Just got out of the shower, and he's like, "Hello, I'm here to collect information on non-milk drinkers, mate. Well, I love my milk. Straight into the mouth from the teat. Punter, g'day, mate. I hope you're well as well. Another great supporter of ours, of course, as you can see there alongside his name. Hope everyone is doing well. I seriously can't believe how fast the season has gone. Feels like yesterday I just got my team prepped and ready to go. It feels like a combination of that. I reckon it may be about 8 weeks ago. I was like, shit, the season is going pretty quick, but it feels as though as the weeks pass, it gets quicker and quicker, which is a good thing because my team is falling in a heap, and I'm looking forward to. Well, I've started an AFLW fantasy team, which for those people tuning in, if you have yet to create a team, it's not too late. I know there's obviously been 2 games that have been played, but in all honesty, I don't have a Carlton player or St Kilda player in my team, so that was the first game. Who cares? And then yesterday or last night was Melbourne and Hawthorn. And I've got 1 or 2 Melbourne players in my team, one of which got injured. So that's just carried across from SuperCoach. But it's not too late to create a team. So go and check it out, AFLW Fantasy. And I will grab my league code. Corey, who is in the chat, the legend himself, he is one of a number of people in this league. So it's just an open league. A bit of fun. Everything else. Let me grab, if it allows me, copy the link, copy code. Here we go. I'll pop it in the comments. So once you click on that link, I think if you don't have a team, it will prompt you to make a team and just join. But yep, Punter, totally agree, mate. It's gone very, very quick. Atush, show us your team, mate. Is team a euphemism for something else? But I'll take you on face value, and I will assume you're talking about my actual team. So let me get it on screen and you can check it out. That is my team at the moment. Once it shows on screen, there we go. That is it right there. Which I'll have to zoom in, I think, because it's a team for ants at the moment. There we go. Does that work? You can see that. As you can see, I'm playing funny buggers with my VSC and C. Because I don't want to give away deliberately to my opponent in my prelim as to who I'm going to settle on. I still have not settled on who I'm going for the VC or the C. But as you can see, earlier I was talking about what I could have done with Wangan and Millera. So Hawker Hahn was in my midfield on the bench where the Wang is at the moment. I could have potentially swung Parker into my midfield and put Hawker Hahn in defence and then used Wangan and Millera as a loop with Hawker Hahn on the bench in defence with the emergency. But I didn't like the prospect of having to rely on Dirksen or Anand if Hawker Hahn went low. So I was willing to take that gamble as opposed to if I was to make that move, Parker would go into the midfield. He would obviously sub on for Bontempelli. But if Fitzgerald goes bananas, I would have to make the agonising decision as to who I actually bench between a Walsh, LDU, or a Heaney. So I didn't want to be in that position. So I think I'm happy enough with what's happened. And Worrell, anyway, actually scored the lowest with 48. Absolutely putrid. Crazy shit. Have you got yourself a wet nurse? I don't even know what a wet nurse is. What is that? A wet nurse. Darren, these Bombers are so relevant. Blues, Pies, final stuff going to Melbourne, then Nuffies everywhere, creating a great atmosphere, though. Hope it happens. I don't know if I've read that incorrectly, Darren, but I think from what you're saying there is that even though it is the 2 rivals in Carlton and Collingwood, it's going to create a great atmosphere. So I hope it happens. So, who makes the choc? The brown cows. Yeah, exactly right. Well, they've got brown cows. They're pumping out that chocolate milk. That would be the way, wouldn't it? It'd be incredible. Tush, you almost made me choke on that Coke then. Choke on a Coke. Culturally disadvantaged. Or, I won't say it. I won't, because I don't want to make, like, you've made the joke there, Atush, but I think you're probably allowed to. Being a white man, I can't make that sort of joke because I'll be called racist, even though it's comedy and it's, you're not being serious. Anyway, I haven't. Do you want to be my first? What is a wet nurse? What is a wet nurse? A woman who breastfeeds and cares for another person's child. Okay, there you go. Interesting. Wow. Okay. I didn't know what that was. I've actually heard that before, but there you go. Have to admit, the cool kids are all in the chat tonight. Absolutely, Kate, including yourself. And I hope you're faring well yourself, Kate. And don't worry about the ex, who's an absolute dingbat, for lack of a better word. We could call him anything else, but many things, but we won't. Spoken to Mick Gatto of the Carlton crew. No milk here. I hear Fat Tony has some rat milking factory you might like, though. And what's it called? Milk. And their bones are brittle. So that's that is the link to the AFLW fantasy. So create a team, bit of fun. Check it out. There is, articles on the AFLW website in terms of just, I think they've put an article in terms of like use this team as a template and go from there. Because the fun is obviously in trading, and you get 3 trades in AFLW fantasy, which is like obviously SuperCoach with boosts. So that is the advantage of this compared to AFL fantasy, which I despise. You only get 2 trades and you can't boost at all. So very, very frustrating. But try this. Good fun. Get to know the girls playing the game, all that sort of stuff. So fill the hole, the void in between the SuperCoach off season. But mind you, SuperCoach finals is coming up as well. We might actually start a league in here the first time and pop the league code in the chat. So all of you out there tuning in have priority access. Do you know you could milk cockroaches? I did not. There you go. I think my innocent mind is getting very confused about these milk conversations. Well, Kate, I too am trying to work out, are they euphemisms? Are they actually, well, I know Jonas here is talking about, that's a Simpsons reference, Fat Tony running a rat milk factory, and they supply it to Lisa and Bart's high school. And when they're having lunch, they're drinking, it's called milk, I think it is, instead of milk. And Millhouse's bones are like all brittle. Jonas, you're off the chain now. He's not here, actually. Good old Paddy. He's downstairs with Ash. Having a Coke, I mean, it is being consumed via not the nasal cavity, which is a different sort, as we said. I give you the pass. Okay, yes, you can. Make fun of brown people, I give you permission. As a brown immigrant, I give you the green light. Well, exactly right. I don't even know what I was going to say. What was it in reference to? It was, I need to find, you call them culturally disadvantaged. I was going to say they call them fobs as well. Fresh off the boat. Anyway. Chocolate. That's a chocolate bar. How'd you get that emoji? Darren, Gorney, it is hopefully Washcraft takes care of business. Sorry if I don't make sense. I'm a bomber who's enjoying some delicious, mate. It sounds as though you're enjoying the whiskey to the next level, which, mate, go for your life. Responsibly, of course, but I hope you're having a great night, mates. And the whiskey sounds very nice. Is it like is it just on the rocks? Is it straight, or are you having it with a bit of a mixer with a Coke or a I don't know what else. I normally just have it with Coke or straight. But let us know what you're drinking. Keen to hear. Uncle Aka, who's not cool, dude. No, Uncle Aka. Well, is he allowed to say that, Atush? I don't know if we can. Guys, when Cripps retires, I'm going to make a video of me crying in a car park and collapsing to money. Now, I know what you're referring to here, Tush. For those people that haven't seen it, go and check out Swoop Luke's Instagram. I think he's posted it only on Instagram. Might have been on Facebook, I don't know. But he posted a video of himself reacting to the news of Steel Sidebottom announcing his retirement. And he was tearful, which I'm like, oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. But I was trying to think of like a player that had me. I don't think I've ever been in tears over a certain player, even my favorite players. Like, even back when I was younger, I think when Kuda retired, I wasn't in, again, I didn't cry, but I was like so sad. I was like as flat as a shit carter's hat, as the saying goes. I was very, very I was sad, but without crying, but I was pretty sad when Kuda retired. Because he's my favorite player back when I was little. But there you go. Did you know this? Someone told me that if you suck a pebble, it helps you get saliva on your mouth. What the hell? Have you been hacked, Corey? What is that message? I don't know. I don't know what that is going on there. My word. Can we do a SuperCoach Edge poll tonight at some stage? We can, Kate. Let us do that. Well, we can't really do a poll about that because it's open-ended. I was going to say, what player has made you almost to the point of crying without crying? Unless you have cried over a player. But anyway. Now, I do have a Pepsi, but as I've said in the past, Pepsi Max I love. But if you chat to Jonas, of course, in the chat, who is Masturbate Her, it is filled with aspartame, I think it's called, or spartame, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the fake sugar substitute, and it's carcinogenic. Now, there is sort of a loose link to it, but I try not to drink it anymore, even though I love the taste of Pepsi Max. Outside of that, the one thing that stopped me from drinking it is because I've got no gallbladder, which for those people who don't know what a gallbladder is, when you're consuming foods with a high fat content, your liver creates bile, which helps to break down the fats in your stomach and your large intestine. And then whatever excess bile is still left over after it's broken down the food, it gets reabsorbed by the gallbladder. And it's kind of like a bit of a keepsake in a sense, where like the next fatty meal that you have, the excess bile that's left in your gallbladder, it shoots out back into your stomach and recycles it. Whereas without a gallbladder, it means my liver has to keep producing bile every single time, which is fine. But I found that Pepsi Max, that is not a good thing in terms of my digestive system, which it must be some sort of ingredient in it that plays havoc with me. So, yeah, I don't like it. Even though I love it, my body doesn't like it. I love you, Ken. You can call me Brown whenever you want. Well, would you say that Uncle Aka's going to Browntown, Atush? I thought Sidebottom died. So did I. I honestly, I did not know why he was crying, and I actually felt really bad. And then he was like going on about Steel Sidebottom. I'm like, he needs to calm down. Wealthy families often employ wet nurses because breastfeeding is inconvenient. Oh, yes, it makes sense. I suppose like the royal family. Unlike the rich, poor families could not afford the services of a wet nurse and breastfed the infants themselves. Well, I mean, you kind of get nutrients and everything else, don't you, from breast milk? So surely coming from the maternal, like, the source, the actual mother, it would have, because the mother shares the same immune system as the baby. So it'd be giving not just nutrients, but also, some extra stuff, some boosters, natural immunity. Rich businessmen also employ the services of an attractive wet nurse drinking the milk direct from the breast for the protein nutrients. That's something like American Psycho type level stuff that I can imagine. Rich businessmen like accountants, like, Wolf of Wall Street type shit. Big love indeed. Who's joined your Never Again list in 2026? A good call, Ross. Good question. Well, Jordan Dawson, he's done. He is done for life. He is no longer an option for me going forward. I don't give a shit if he is the number one ranked player, which he won't be, going forward into next year onwards. Don't care. He is not in my team. He is my new never again. LDU, sorry, not LDU. Tristan Cherry, I would say he's probably not on my never again list, but I won't be choosing him next year. I stupidly didn't start him on my team. I correctly didn't start him on my team, but stupidly traded him in after his first 2 big scores because we got swindled. Because I was like, I'm not choosing Cherry initially because I thought that the new ruck rules are going to go against him. He had these bananas games in his first 2 games, and I thought, okay, well, the ruck rules aren't affecting him. And of course, when I brought him in, he went to shit, and the ruck rules are impacting him. So I was actually right. So I don't know, man. That's brutal. Sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent then, so I don't know what you're referring to, Uncle. You're talking about my gallbladder, I think? Yeah, is what it is. I was thinking about it today, actually. The surgery on the gallbladder, it was kind of, they're literally taking an organ out of your body. And I remember being discharged, and I was in that much pain. Like, they obviously give you painkillers so you can't feel it, but the painkillers were starting to wear off, and I didn't have any in my possession. So I had to go to the pharmacy at the North Park Private Hospital where I had it. And I was waiting in line, and the painkillers were wearing off bit by bit, and I was keeled over at the counter in pain. It felt like literally someone had stabbed me in the stomach. Well, technically they did because they'd cut me open and pulled out an organ. I'll never forget that. It felt like I felt extremely sick, but also it felt like someone had stabbed me and punched me in the gut so many times. It was not good. But anyway, got over it. Recovery was, it was, as long as you stay on top of your painkillers, you don't feel it really. And I recovered within maybe 4 to 6 weeks, if that, and felt right as rain. Not doing sit-ups or anything at that stage, but the hardest part was my digestive system, having to get used to things without a gallbladder, which I never knew what a gallbladder was, and then not having one, you're kind of like, now I understand why everyone is born with one. But yeah, it still impacts me now where not having a gallbladder, some foods do not agree with me, and yeah, it's thrown things out. But I had to have the gallbladder out because I had gallstones, which is kind of like they're not calcium, but it's like a virtually like minerals. They're like little pebbles virtually that form in your gallbladder, and you get gallbladder attacks where it feels like someone's like just punched you in the gut. But one of those little pebbles got caught in my the tract between my pancreas and my gallbladder and blocked my pancreas, and I wasn't getting enzymes that are produced in the pancreas, which go into your bloodstream and stuff, and I became pretty ill, didn't realize, and they said you've got pancreatitis. I was like, holy shit, because it's kind of like an illness you get if you're consuming too much alcohol. It impacts your pancreas, and you need enzymes which pretty much regulate like your sugar levels, kind of like diabetes and stuff. So a similar sort of thing, and I felt like really, really sick. Went to like my local GP on a weekend. My local GP wasn't open. The one across the road was 24-hour doctors. Went in there, and some old Asian dude who looked like he was not a doctor at all put his stethoscope on my stomach, and it was like he was taking the piss, because he was like, seems to me like you have enlarged large intestine. And I'm like, how can you actually come to that conclusion by listening to my stomach with a stethoscope? So I was like, nah, you're taking the piss, mate. Walked out, went to a different clinic, got a blood test, went home and felt like shit, and then got like a call from the nurse the next morning in a panic, being like, oh my God, is this Damon? I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you in hospital? I'm like, no, should I be? And she's like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I feel better than yesterday. And she's like, well, the blood test has come back saying that your enzyme levels are like through the roof, and you've got pancreatitis, which can hospitalize you and make you very, very, very sick. So I was lucky. And then off the back of that, I was like, nah, gallbladder, you're gone. You're out. So that was that. Anyway, that's my life story. That's my TED Talk. Kate, that's it. Sorry, Jonas. Aspartame, aka sweetener 951, is toxic. I love how you're across that, Jonas. I'd love to know how you came across it, because I know you are virtually well versed in this. Like, are you not a health freak, but are you across, what's good for you, what's bad for you, all that sort of stuff in terms of drinking and, diet and everything else. Very informative, Jonas. Kate, Luke Hodge cried at his retirement match for Hawthorn. That's fair enough. Then flew to Brisbane and cried again for his final match for them. Oh, really? Love that, man. There you go. That's crazy that you actually you flew to Brisbane. Shows how much of a fan you were of him. That's cute, Kate. That's cool. Call me old school, but I could never cry and have the wherewithal to whip out my camera and then post it. Yeah, exactly right. Like, he's got his detractors, I'll call it, Swoop Luke. Now, I've met him in person before. Nice enough dude. But, yeah, I would say that I'm the same sort of thing that I'm comfortable in myself, my emotions and everything else. But I can't say, as I said, that I've ever wanted to cry over a player. Like, I'm a Carlton Nuffy at heart, as you are, Atush and Jonas. And Uncle Acker, I think you're a Carlton man as well, aren't you? But anyway, I could never cry over a Carlton player. I mean, this man right here, he's still on my desk, Charlie Curnow. He was one of my favourite players. No longer gone. No, I probably should throw this away, but it's still sitting on my desk. You think I was crying over him leaving? No, I was fucking pretty pissed off, in all honesty. I should take the head off that. Or do something to it down the track. He's about to win his third Coleman as well, mind you, Charlie. Piece of shit he is. Anyway, but yeah, I agree there, Atush. Cap, that's a lie. Todd, you here? Wait, Todd, Rod Todd and Todd, are you exactly the same person? What is going on? Atush, is this the Todd that frequents your channel? I don't know if this is the same one. But g'day, Rod Todd. Hope you're well, mate. Said I was never getting Neil and had him. And same with Merritt. There you go. Oh, there you go. It is that same dude. Okay, Zakar. I'm pretty sure it's the same. Oh, actually, it's not the same dude. We had someone masquerading as Annie Knight over on Blue Bagger's Edge. He's been on here as well, Annie Knight, masquerading. I don't know. Corey, for me, definitely Rochelle, Clark, Houston for never again. I think Carlton, you don't own any shit, mate. He's a part owner of this channel. I'll have you know, Todd. Thoughts on North looking at Ollie Hollands? I don't like it for my team. Well, I like it as a Carlton man. I think he's got potential, but I don't think he'll ever realise it. He doesn't have the quick thinking required for senior level. He's got the skill set, but again, he just panics under pressure, turns the ball over. When he has time and space, he's such a good user of the footy. But when have you got that time and space, really? I mean, on the wing, yes, maybe, but Corey, all we're asking for is your top pick 9, I think, at the moment, or thereabouts. We'll give you our first choice with Ollie Hollands and maybe another pick, and you can give us pick 9, and we'll use that for Jagger Smith. What do you reckon? Not Jagger Smith, sorry, for Cody Walker. That'd be a nice little exchange there, Corey. What do you say? Rod Todd, no trades and no cash in the bank. My boy Bont out. I'm so poor, I'm going to go to KFC and lick other people's feet. I rate that. That's very good, Rod. That's good by you. Okay, I agree. Worrell is on the never again list. It's disappointing as well because if you look at, let's just have a quick look at Worrell, just historically how he's been going. If you look at his career stats, his previous seasons, he's gotten like better and better. And this is what swindled me. He was like 74.5 into 85 into 90. He's going up by like virtually, between 5 and 10 average points every year. But hey, he's on track. He's actually gone up. He will, if the season ended now, he's already gone up 95.2. So by that trajectory, he probably will average about 100 next year, but he's not on my team anymore. I'm not touching him anymore, Kate. Just like yourself. No touching. Arrested Development reference there, of course, for anyone that watched Arrested Development. Rod, old mate Toddy, needs to take a chill pill. Come to KFC with me. Have a cone. Pop a Prozac. There you go. Here she is. Now, Atush, is this the same person? Annie Knight. Is Annie Knight that man whose name you just mentioned? Zakar. Is this Zakar? Sorry to hear that, Kate. The number one chick in Damon Supercoach land. Nicole Fisher is a sick lady, though. Saw her YouTube video of the dragon killing the lizard. Heard enough you did. What? Saw her YouTube video of the dragon killing the lizard. I don't know what you're on about there. Mixed bowl right next to me, Young. Yeah. On holidays, so I'm enjoying Jack Daniels. There you go. Yeah, interesting. And 12 monkeys, mostly straight, occasional. Coke added, friggin' delicious. Started just before tea. Head's a bit wobbly though. Well, make sure you ease up, Darren, and you're not too legless. I always find, of course, drinking responsibly. I hit a point where I know I'm like, this is it. Like you're like at a good level, but anything beyond that, and it's like that's when you start to feel like shit. You start to be on the verge of vomiting, and it's not good. Not good at all. Had a couple with Jonas last night, but he's a lightweight. I don't think Jonas knows of you, Rod Todd, but I don't think you caught up together. Surely not. Jonas spends a lot of time on YouTube looking at random shit. Jonas, he must. That's probably part of the reason. I'm the same as well. Like, you chat to my wife, and she says that I look at some absolutely random shit on YouTube, but I like to Google things, I like to YouTube things, and that's how you learn. I'm a student of life. I always like to learn new things and work out how things work. I got that sort of brain. Had a couple with Jonas last night. You said it before. Oh, do you realize you're posting under different accounts, but it's the same thing? Rod Todd, you've outed yourself there. People in the comments, name one content creator you would love to have a cone with. There you go. Is that like the VB? Oh no, not VB. What is it? Duncan's. You know, Duncan's bottle shop. I love to have a beer with Duncan because Duncan's me mate. Classic. I was going to YouTube it, but it'll get flagged with copyright. Uncle Acker is a dog. Are you a doggies man? Oh, well, makes sense. You've got Acker as your profile pic. Could be the Lions. Mate, get us on there. Get us on there. Last time, which again, I don't endorse this, of course, any youngsters tuning in, but when I was in the US for the Cricket World Cup a couple of years ago now? Yeah, it would be, yeah. Caught up with, or met a guy that was there who was mates with another guy I was traveling with in the production team. And we enjoyed we sampled some fine, I mean, obviously it is legal. This is in New York City, which it is legal. You can go to, I don't know what they call them there. Depositories, is it? Depositories or something like that. But my word, wow, it was a very nice night. Like, just sitting on a rooftop overlooking the skyline of New York City. It was very nice. It was a very nice night. Let's just say that. He's a legend, Kerno. I'm with EFC and cry over players weekly. Well, that makes sense, Ross. Well, as Carlton men, we can relate to that. Cried after the 93 grand final. Yeah, I can imagine. I was only 5 years old then, so I didn't, thankfully, I wasn't privy to that. But yeah, I think that's probably the only time I would cry is if we lost a grand final. So I can sympathise with you there, Alan, for sure. Would love to see George high. That would be very funny. Of course, George SuperCoach does some funny shit on his channel and very critical of his own team, like trades in a player and then trades him out the next week, which I have no idea how he had as many trades as what he did, say 2 weeks ago. I would have thought that he would be going the way of Abs Magic, the Skodfather, being out of trades like with 8 weeks to go in the season. Could see DR chilling with a nice blunt. Yeah, DR is that sort of bloke. I actually drove him home. We caught up with other content creators. Liam came along, of course, to the SuperCoach launch, which would be around about 4 years ago now, thereabouts. And I was driving, so wasn't able to consume too many, but drove DR home, and he was absolutely legless. And it was hilarious because he was supposed to be home at a certain hour, and he chose to stay out with us, and he had to call his wife and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm going to be home late because part of this I guess the SuperCoach launch was we were able to go and get a tour of Fox Studios. And he was saying to his wife, "I'm so sorry, honey. Like the tour at Fox Footy went for so long. We got delayed because they were doing something in the studio. He just made something up, but he stayed out with us, and I drove him home. He is a very funny bastard. He's DR. Absolutely love him. Great bloke. As soon as the season's over, I'm bringing Libba a smoke. Libba would be absolutely hanging for one. I'm sure he actually has one in season. Is he a good user of the footy? Come on. What are you talking about, mate? I don't know what you're talking about there, Todd. You're talking about Ollie Hollands. Hollands is an elite wingman of the comp, so composed in such an 100%. Now, Atush, this is why, exactly right here. If North want him, they're going to have to pay big time. They have to pay almost, I reckon, their first round draft pick. We'll give him our, what is it? What have we got? Pick 14 or something at the moment? We'll give him that. And you can have Ollie Hollands. And you can give back to us a future first as well. Maybe. What do you reckon about that, Atush? Does that work well? Corey, what is good? Fraser got rid of Sard, Williams, and Hollands. Crazy to think Voss played Williams and Hollands in 8 games out of 8 and Sard a lot of... Corey, it is one of the many insights you'll get into Michael Voss as a coach, with inverted commas used there, of course, very loosely phrased as a senior coach. He is not a very good coach. DR told everyone Rod Todd offered him a blowy. How do you know his real name, Jonas? Isaiah Dudley should teach Jesse Motlop what a real small forward plays. Love Dudley in the team. Imagine Dudley alongside friggin' Bunsen Burner. Far out. Corals needs to smoke more than anyone. No, Annie is not Zach, and I'll tell you why in DMs. Okay, interesting. Well, I know Annie is a resident Collingwood supporter. I forget his real name. I forget his actual surname, but he's a bit of a larrikin. He's a pies man, but has a little bit of a yarn, bit of banter, which I don't mind. Rod Todd, Jonas, I won't even deny that, would have DR's baby. So here you go. Only Carlton, did you tell him what you said about Rocco on the besties posts? Mate, I couldn't give a shit, Todd. Thanks, Annie. Yes, I did, Todd. He did. Jonas is legit my cousin. No, he's not. He's not really. I don't believe this. I mean, Jonas is always talking about you in terms of, like, it doesn't seem like it's complimentary. Surely you're not cousins. I don't think I believe that. Yeah, he's the foreskin-obsessed sicko that stalks DR. Does he stalk DR? I love those travel stories you tell. Well, I've been lucky enough to have been to a number of different places through, business and pleasure. And there was another story I think I've told in the past where when I was working with Collingwood and the Pies were playing in Adelaide. Let us know if I told that story already. If I have, I won't tell it. But virtually it was a messy night. Ended up at a gay bar, of all things, of a mate of Swanee's, Dayton Swan, owns this bar. So we all went there. We're like, yeah, whatever, free drinks. And gee whiz, the crew that we went with for Collingwood, there was people from other departments and stuff, and free drinks. So you can imagine how messy the night was. The next day, Collingwood were playing Adelaide, and I remember the bus ride over, and my not my boss at the time, he was kind of like a stand-in boss, but loose as anything. And he was like, because he actually retreated to his hotel room early, whilst all of us, plus like some of the players, went to this, not current day players, but retired players like Swanee and stuff, went to this bar, and it was messy. And he was like, he saw me on the bus and he's like, "Do you have a big one, mate?" And I was like, "Yep." Yeah. But there's detail behind that, which I won't get into if I've already told the story, but it was a messy night. Jonas just cut because I leaked his foreskin trampoline story. Now he's disowned me online. Our mums and sisters, Carolyn and Ross. That sounds like a very convoluted story, but convoluted enough to potentially be true. So Jonas, come clean. Is he your cousin? DR is a beast. He is indeed. DR is a funny bastard. Why don't you dress up, Charlie? Put makeup, a pair of frilly knickers and bra. That would suit him. Now he's not a bagger. I could put like a mask of something on him. Or what I could do is I could cover up his face with the old Bunsen burner. There he is. There he is. The absolute cannonball. What an absolute star this bloke is. What an absolute star. Who needs bloody, what's his name? Dudley, when you've got the bloke who's an absolute weapon in Bunsen burner. I need to suss out this DR guy who he is. He's got his own SuperCoach channel. He's a funny bastard. Tush, you'll love him. He's a very loose unit. He's actually a school teacher, believe it or not, but a ripping fella. One of the nicest guys in the community, but a really nice bloke as well. Great guy that you just sit down, have a beer with, and shoot the shit with. So really, really cool dude. Corey, of course, and everyone else here, or most people here, know who he is. Corey still loved the DR story. He went to Cranbourne rather than on the Craigieburn line for the train after the grand final. Oh my Lord. He should know that because I gave him a lift home, as I said, and he lives out past where I live. I live in Wollert up north, and he's like another 2 suburbs beyond that. So like a 10, 15-minute drive away. He should know Craigieburn line goes to where he lives. What was he doing? He must have been absolutely plastered. DR told me about Noel stalking him on Twitter, email, phone, etc. Rod Todd is the biggest. Is he your cousin though, Jonas? That's an all-time classic. Went to Cranbourne instead of Craigieburn and ended up at a random guy's house at 3 a.m. auction buying scooters. What? Shout out to Mars. Don't come back knocking on the door. Go back climbing back from that hole you came out. Okay. I still love last year. Went to the footy where Jonas was there and he brought in vodka oranges. The footy he was giving to everyone else who was there. You're a funny man, Jonas. By using my real name, it's obvious we know each other, you knobby. Also, only Carlton, why did you stop yourself yesterday when you going to say the word? What word? What are you talking about, Todd? DR has told everyone about you, dumbass. My Lord. Rod Todd has told the same story about 5 different people chased CWT off SuperCoach. He's self-projecting. It obviously really happened to him. Yeah, he sounds like a big fan. Been wondering where CWT is. What does CWT stand for? Is this the supporter, the Eagle supporter that's on Twitter? Or Swan supporter? One of the two. I think he's Eagles, isn't he? Is it the same dude? If he was my cousin, I would have beaten the shit out of him. I tend to believe that would be the truth, Jonas. A great friend of our channel, but also my best mate in Clint is joining us. Who's currently, I think he's still in Vietnam, maybe, or Laos, one of the two. What are you up to, good sir? I don't know what the time would be over there, the time difference, but are you enjoying the nightlife? Am I the only one that doesn't like vodka? Potentially. I don't mind vodka. Don't mind it. You know the word. What word are you talking about? Interesting. Let's have a look ahead to the remaining games and what we have on the horizon potentially in terms of SuperCoach. Because, I mean, and just to sort of round things out, I will say this. Next week, obviously the last week of SuperCoach, I don't think I'll be doing a episode post round 24. We can if we want, so let us know. Silence my DMs, hit us up on the Discord. But I might do a summary potentially, which kind of goes into SuperCoach finals. If you can, let me know. I'll continue SuperCoach finals, do a little bit of a wrap up post round 24. But otherwise, I was thinking of doing all of the remaining episodes live. So there's a chance for everyone to jump on, have a bit of yarn. That includes, of course, my team talk for next week, but also the episode proper, which I think I did last year live. So we can do that and captaincy episode as well, if you want. So we could do them all live. And if you are keen, you can jump on, shoot the shit, have a yarn, and we can extend it a little bit more. Taste like hand sanitizer. What is going on here? I don't even know what is going on. Oh, sorry, you're talking about vodka. Tastes like hand sanitizer. That's why you can't have it straight. You've got to have it with raspberry Coke or cola. What else do you have it with? Lemonade. So yeah, vodka you don't really drink straight compared to, like, say, a whiskey or a scotch that you can kind of sit back and enjoy. Whereas vodka, yeah, it has a very you're right. It's like very much like a hand sanitizer. It's like a fuel. Yeah, snowflake. Is that the racial word you're talking about? Can't wait for the double header, North versus Geelong. There's too many Todds in here as well. There's like Rod Todd and there's actual Todd. So can we choose which Todd we're going with? Exactly. Spot on, Rod Todd. Vodka and Red Bull. Yeah, vodka and Red Bull actually is quite nice. The best combination is, what's it called? Oh, what's the shot of? I forget that friggin' Fireball. Fireball and Red Bull goes an absolute treat. Remember that? That's back in the day, early days of being the bars and stuff. Battle of the Todds, battle it out, rap battle. Yeah, do a rap battle. Let's do it. In fact, just on that, Atush, I had no idea Chef Jack has karaoke on his own channel. That there, my wife and I checked it out after we did our live stream last night. Far out. The best thing ever. We are going to be tuning into it. In fact, I might be doing some karaoke if he is keen. I've got this microphone. It's not, I mean, it is a podcasting mic, but we can use it as a bit of a broadcasting mic, and we should do a duet. I mean, just putting it out there, but we should do a duet. I could not believe he was singing, let's waste time chasing cars. And I'm like, oh my God, what a melody, what a voice, angelic from the man himself, Chef Jack. And also, I was swept up amongst the chatter between him and who else was it chatting about peppercorn steak or peppercorn sauce? I checked out the video. Looks fucking pretty good, actually. So I might actually use that recipe when I'm trying to create a bit of a sauce for a steak, because it looked elite. So go and check it out. 100%, mate. Probably doesn't surprise you at all. I'm a karaoke man. I love my karaoke. Went out for karaoke for my 30th, I'm pretty sure. The karaoke joints in the city, there's like Asian ones. I think it's like Korean. I'm pretty sure they're Korean owned. Fuck, the best time ever. Like, if someone was to say to me, we're going to karaoke, and we're staying there for hours and we're not even moving. You can go there, sing away. There's a bar there, get pissed. It is an absolute treat. So 100%, let us do it. I'm up for it. I'm totally up for it on Chef Jack's channel. It's a classic. Noodle. Okay. How many countries have you been to? And on my never again list, Cherry Crows, number 12. Houston. Who's Crows number 12? Oh, of course, Dawson. I'm willing to forgive Cherry to an extent, but I don't think he's not on my never again list, but I won't be owning him in the near future. Dawson's gone. Houston I'd never own anyway. And Rochelle was another one I was very close to owning as well, because it looked as though he was going to get regular mid-minutes and it never came. So it was very strange. What countries have I been to? So let's bring up the map. Actually, I need a map with, like, you can actually see what's going on. And one that's big enough. That's not big enough. Oh my Lord. Be good if there's actually a map here that we can... actually zoom in on. What about the world map? Does this work? Click a country. Can we zoom in? For fuck's sake. So I'm trying to find a map here. It's not it. Google Earth. Will that work? I need to clearly see the countries and stuff. This is like bloody, what is it? Geo mapping. Well, I haven't been anywhere in Africa. Okay. So let's start with the home territory. So I have been to I've been to Queensland in terms of states, Queensland, New South Wales, South Australia. I've been to the NT, been to WA, and I've been to Tassie. So the only state I haven't been to, or state and territory, is Canberra. So I haven't been to Canberra. So pretty lucky. A lot of those travel, or those trips were when I was working at Collingwood. So obviously playing interstate, we do that. I've been to Brisbane, been to Sydney, been to Adelaide, been to Perth. I've been to Darwin. I've been to Alice Springs. I've been to, who else is there? Gold Coast I've been to. Those are probably the main cities. So that's kind of Australia there. Tassie I've been to. I was very lucky. I've been all around Tassie. So I've been to Burnie. I've been to Launceston, been to Hobart. Been to... Where else did I go? Devonport. And I think that was about it. In terms of outside of Australia. Now, if I'm just talking shit, let me know. But actually, let's go through... Sorry, I don't want to fall behind on these comments. The Ning Nang Nong, great song. Search on Spotify, even YouTube, the Ning Nang Nong, classic song. And I'd forgotten about it because it was a song that I play for my son when he's cracking the shits, and it calms him down. It's like apparently a song that really, it's like a universal song that calms kids down. It's incredible. And I used to listen to it when I was little. I listened to it recently and I was like, holy shit, it like unlocked a core memory that was locked away. Crazy. The Ning Nang Nong. Dark Spirit Man. There we go. He does indeed, yeah. Classic Chef Jack. Spend 100K on my wrist, bust it down, and smack her coochie. What the fuck is... Are they lyrics to a song? I don't know what that is. I'm down. I'm down a tush. Can we do some SuperCoach Edge Awards for your end-of-year team wrap? Player that caused the biggest headache, the winner, a teacher. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that, Kate. Bit of fun with it. I think we did it in previous years. Similar sort of thing in projecting forward, but we might have a bit of fun with it. And seeing as though if we do it live, we'll get a consensus of who the worst player was, like the biggest headache. So good idea, Kate. Love your thinking, as always. So good stuff. Sing the Carlton Club song for Carrot. Mate, I would do anything. I will do that. Da 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 da. It scares me that he's older than me. Who's older than you? As in, you're talking about Todd? Oh, God. I'm going to make you call me daddy. I went Rochelle over Pickett at the time. That is a regret. That's unfortunate. Be the way he is. No, I don't think I want to go to Africa. It's probably one continent that... I mean, it'd be cool to go to, like, the safari and stuff, but, yeah. This is the greatest side quest ever. Mate, we'll get into it in a moment. We'll pick it up. I've heard fake Rod has a head like half-sucked mango. Only Carlton, first of all, version, yes, daddy, yeah. Go help James Brayshaw gambling. Pillows don't count. There's a tush. Okay. Why'd you add 2 T's money? Anyway, let's continue on our side quest. So, who actually asked the question about where I've been? Who was that? Or was that just in my head? Someone did ask that, didn't they? Now I can't even find it because it's buried. So I'm just going back through the comments. Who asked that question? Oh, Ross Laws. Sorry, it was you, Ross. Let's go through. So that's where I've been to in Australia. And let us know in the chat as well where you've been to. If you've been anywhere else around Australia or if you've been on the international waters, Southern Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere. I haven't been to New Zealand. That's one country I haven't been to. I've been to, where are we? Now, it's quite funny because I've been to quite a number of places, but I'm not very good with my geography in terms of where things are. Now, I've been to Thailand. I've been to Vietnam. I haven't been to Philippines. Singapore, I've been there for a stopover. I haven't actually been there to explore, but airport I have. I've been to India. So India, I've been around a fair bit actually. That was with the Grade Cricketer boys. So I've been to Nagpur. I've been to Mumbai. Been to Delhi. Been to Chennai. Been to Bengaluru. I've been to another spot as well. I saw the Taj Mahal as well, which is quite nice. Incredible. I've not been to the Middle East, which is probably fair enough. Have not been to China. Have not been to Russia. Have not been, as I said, to anywhere in South Africa. Europe. Now, Europe, I've been lucky enough to go. Well, first and foremost, I've been to the UK. I've been to Ireland. I've been to Scotland as well. Scotland. Been to Ireland. I've been to England. I've been on a Kentucky tour. I've been to Spain, been to Portugal, been to France, been to Belgium, been to Netherlands, been to Germany, Austria, been to Italy, been to Greece. It was the Corfu Islands, I think it was called, along here somewhere. I forget where it actually is. Anyway, it was one of those islands. I've been to, where else did we go? Poland, been to. I think that's about it for Europe. Oh, Switzerland, of course. I don't think I said Switzerland. Have not been to Scandinavian countries. And then I have been to, I've been to Canada very briefly when I was younger with my folks. I've been to the US. So US I've been to Las Vegas, California. I've been to Texas. I've been to Houston, been to Dallas, been to New York City, up on the coast there. Been to Chicago on a separate trip. And been to Florida. And there was somewhere else we went to. I forget. But anyway, that's pretty much it. That's where I've been around the world. So I've been pretty lucky. Pretty lucky. Anyway, let's see how things are going in the chat, shall we? I did touch for a second then. Did you go to O Block? Is that you're talking about Prison Break? In Chirac? No, I've not. What was Double D's? What? My word. Are you going to have an open league for SuperCoach finals? Now, you've reminded me in my ADHD brain. So let's stop sharing this and bring up, because we have yet to sign up. This is how on board I am for SuperCoach finals. I'll just sign up now quickly over on the other tab. Do you agree that we share details? Yeah, whatever. Start creating my team, and I'll create. Dun, 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 dun. It's taking a sweet ass time. Anyway, whilst it's doing that, let's bring that up on screen again. Yeah, I'll create a league whilst we're here, Darren, and you can join. Catch you later, fam. Meeting Jonas in the morning for a coffee. He's gonna be pissed at me. Oh my god. By the way, Aka, for fake Todd, it was you, Ross. Yep. Would you go to India? Atush, would you go to? I've already been. As I said, Todd. I've been to the USA, Switzerland, France, Italy, UK, Singapore for layover, Fiji as a layover, and went to Portugal. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention as well, Hawaii was the other state in the US. Always forgotten because it's not on the mainland. But yeah, Hawaii was quite nice as well. Good travels there, Corey. Well done. Beat it up. Ross, Todd was talking smack about you. Not nice. We love you. What are you talking? Don't start shit, Todd. When did you travel everywhere? What the fuck? Mate, I'm an old soul. I'm 38 years old. It may surprise you, but I'm an old bastard. And we're talking about SuperCoach going by in a blink of an eye. My life has gone by in a blink of an eye. But I've been pretty lucky. Like most of these European countries that I've been to, European countries, I should say, was when I was on a Kentucky tour, which was back when I finished high school when I was 17. I went to uni, obviously 18, 19. I think it was around about 19 or 20. I was on the Kentucky tour with a friend of mine. And it was good, but it also at the same time was shit because there were places there, like in Germany, for example, where we were just literally there, like driving through because we're on like our own little tour bus. But yeah, outside of that, I did some side travel after the Kentucky tour to Scotland and to Ireland. And the US, I was there for my honeymoon, and also with, as I said, with work with podcasters, a couple of comedians that were doing live shows over in India, but also in the US. 2 different trips with them, so it was pretty cool. I can't wait to piss in the MCG car park after beating Carlton in the wildcard game. Sadly, Mrs. Edge won't see it because she will leave it. Mate, we don't leave at all. We don't leave early. That's one thing you should know about us is as Carlton supporters, we have been through hell and back. We have been dragged through not just the mud, through the shit, through the sewers. There is nothing that will force us to leave at three-quarter time. We sit there throughout. Even, I mean, back in the early days of the early 2000s, it might be ahead of your time there, kind sir, because you may be not quite as old as what I am. But, I mean, early days of when the likes of Kuda, Sauce, and Brett Ratton, Braddles all retired, and the club was hit by the salary cap fine, as well as the stripping of draft picks. We had shit kickers playing for us. And yet, my mate who was in the chat earlier, Clint, we went to every single game, home game at Optus Oval as it was back then. Despite the fact we were knowing that we were going to be smashed by 60 points every single week, we'd go there. It was just a great time just to converse, have some fun, shoot the shit, look at some of the, 1 or 2 good plays that we had back then, and that was it. But we've said it all. So there is no leaving early anywhere. RIP King Von. I don't know. You're just saying random things, Todd. Yeah, on the Wacky Tobacco. Where are you squatting at? He will let Jonas know he loves a good sneaky peek at the Golden Shower. I have been to LA, Todd. Yeah. To some people, it may be. People may call me Unk, which is the slang term in the younger generation that I'm an old man, which is quite funny. I think it kind of portrays that I'm that drunken uncle at a wedding that embarrasses everyone, which is probably right. That's something I probably would do. But yeah, 38. I mean, I feel pretty young. I must be said. In terms of physically, maybe not. But mentally, yeah, I'm pretty young. I think I'm an old soul. I think I've been living many lifetimes. I'm sure. Just because I feel well traveled. Pretty Pretty lucky. Pretty lucky, that's for sure. I'm taking it, maybe looking for an upgrade. There are plenty thirsty lads in the chat for you. Cheers for lots of people called. Who knows? Would you go to Israel if they offered you free flights? Mate, I wouldn't be going anywhere in the vicinity of the Middle East. I've never left early at a game. Good stuff, Corey. Good stuff. I think it builds character, and it means that even though if you're going through the shittest patch of form, you're Teflon. Who gives a shit? You've seen worse. You've seen worse. The only time I've left a game early is when I got kicked out. Managed to get back in, though. I love that. It reminds me of when Barney gets kicked out by Mo from Mo's Tavern, and then he's like this, and then the door flaps open, and there he is. Barney's back inside again. Unky drunky. Didn't take the Nuffies to get ahead of themselves, claiming a Pies win. A lot of water to go under the bridge yet. Yeah, there's Drunk Uncle's Edge. You wouldn't even go for free Nando's. Mate, where are you getting free Nando's from in Israel? Also never left a game early in my 10 to 11 years of watching. I'm trying to actually I'm sure there would have been a time like you have to leave early because of something. But I honestly cannot think. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, let's go back across to SuperCoach. Oh, classic. Look at this. It doesn't want us to play SuperCoach finals. If I had a problem registering your team, please refresh and try again in a few minutes. Even though I got the email just now saying that I've signed up. So what the fuck's going on? What the hell? It's actually signed me up twice. Far out. What is going on? Okay, I think it's signed me up now. So sign me up, Scotty. So we go finals. Here we go. Oh, no, that's not it. I've just signed up, you bloody, you donkeys. Here we go. We're here. We're here, ladies and gents. Why am I in a public league with 14 entries? The fuck is this? Anyway, let's create a league, ladies and gents. So, Jonas, do this as well. Go to supercoach.com.au and sign up for a finals team. And we'll create a league. So we'll call it SuperCoach Edge Finals. Oh, we can't do. Okay, we'll just do SuperCoach Edge. Actually, we'll go SC Finals. And obviously 5 weeks. We won't do a deadline so people can just join. Just for a bit of fun, of course. Create the private league. The league code, as you can see there, is 119900. So pretty easy to remember that. 119900. We'll copy the link and give you the link. So you can just click on the link and away you go. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They're actually giving away a Hilux to the winner, isn't it? Which is that worth more than the 50K? I don't know how much a Hilux goes for nowadays, brand new, but seems as though it's a pretty decent prize for like 5 weeks of worth of work. What should my team name be? I was going to say just masturbate her. I don't know. Yeah, just nod and agree, Kate. I would probably. I don't know if there's like a clause where you're not allowed to sell a prize after like within a certain period of time, and you have to wait for it to like lapse. But I would probably sell it. Like we've got a big car for our little one, and I actually sold my Mazda 3 going back maybe about 6 months ago now or thereabouts. So we've got my wife's little Suzuki Swift, it's like a go-kart that I end up driving. So get away with that. Yeah, poor Kate. Just don't even acknowledge it, Kate. Just nod and agree. Yep. That is the link. Click on that, and it will prompt you to join the league. So let's have a squiz. Has anyone joined as yet? Let's refresh it. Gee whiz. Had a couple of people quick off the mark. We've got Alan joining us, and I don't know who Riyadh is. Who's Riyadh? Is there a Riyadh in the chat? Is that you, Todd? I like a female comic book shop. Oh my God, there's a woman of the fairer sex. Whatever will we do? Yeah, feel free to join. Feel free to join. What was I doing? I was going back and having a look at the remaining, whatchamacallits. So let's have a look at my my cash leagues. I'll humour you. So I'm still alive in the SuperCoach Cash League number 1 that I think I'm going to get kicked out in, really. I'm up against Nilly Haddo, which is Dan's team. Absolutely wiping the floor with me. He's got Rankin, 157. He's got Clark, who's had an out-of-the-box score. I've got Worrell, Hawker-Hahn, and I'm down a player. So I'm cooked. I'm absolutely cooked like a chook. So enjoy the win there, Dan. Outside of that, I am in this cash league here, which I think it's like $900 goes to the winner or something. I, again, am cooked. Mind you, I've got on the bench. I haven't, of course, adjusted who the players are, but Fitzgerald will come on for Bont. I'll be running with a donut with Durham. So I'll be down a player. He's got Rankin, of course. Of course he does. Of course. So I'm pretty much cooked in this as well. Unless my VC goes absolutely bananas, or a player that he doesn't have goes absolutely bananas. So I'm praying and hoping. Another cash league that I'm pretty much cooked in already. Doesn't have Worrell. Does not have Worrell. Look at that shit. That is ridiculous, honestly. So shit. So I think my season's going down the gurgler after this week, and I'll be bidding farewell to 2026 for SuperCoach. But hey, then we've got finals. Yay. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. That's my team. I'm not confident in Baz against North. Does he get tagged by Foss? Corey, if you're still with us, does Finn O'Sullivan tag Baz Linker? Surely he does. Do you want to let him get the code? No worries at all, mate. Keen to have you in. I saw you were on the Centre Bound show yesterday. Why did you do that? What do you mean? What did he do, Uncle Acker? I'm in my Draft Keeper League grand final this week. What the hell? It's showing that one person is actually viewing us at the moment. What the hell's going on? Have people dropped off? We went from like 16 people down to 3 all of a sudden. Anyway, we're up to 6 again. What's going on? People get kicked? Tush, have you been in this live stream the whole time? Or... Oh, it's showing 6 on my end. I reckon it's just on the fritz. Crazy. You're in. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. So the way it works is virtually you pick a team every single week across the finals. Obviously, of those teams that are still active in the finals. And I think you can... I don't even know how it works in terms of how many players you can have in your team. Like the max number of players you can have from a specific team. But the rules will be there. Anyone that's across the rules, let us know. Fill us in, because I haven't actually had a look at it yet, because I'm pretty much over it at the moment, SuperCoach. I did not see the new fantasy update, Todd. What are you referencing there? Simpkin or Foss did it last time. Yeah, I don't think he scored that well, did he? So, I won't put it, like, Atush, if you win the Hilux, far out. Like, that would be... I think there's more chance of you winning the Hilux than there is Jesse Motlop retaining your spot in Carl's list at the end of 2027. No, I reckon you'd be good at this game. I honestly do. Yeah, YouTube's on the fritz. It's showing that 7 people watching us now, which, mind you, we might wrap things up shortly because I've got to work tomorrow. I've got an edit I've got to do for Mr. One, Dylan Buckley, for his podcast. Have you seen you? No, I don't know what this new update is. Oh, okay. Well, they're doing it for SuperCoach finals as well, Todd, which is what I just had on screen. Spoiled the team lineups with Bont out. Oh, really? Oh. But Corey is like, the most mild-mannered, like well-intentioned bloke. So Big J, honestly, get a big dog up here if you're going to crack the shits over Causa. Causa wouldn't have done that purposely. I got work in 5 hours. Wee. Yeah, did Big J say no spoilers? Exactly. If you haven't said no spoilers, then it's literally on you. Because I know they go through the team announcements, but like, hey, is what it is. That's the beauty of live chat, isn't it? Aaron, how are you? Great man. Tuning in from Montreal. Jeez, there's a few. Actually, is this the same Aaron that's? Nah, it might be a different Aaron. Aaron, who was in our cash league, SuperCoach Edge cash league. Don't know if that's the same Aaron. But there is an Aaron that has been in our cash league from Canada. No, not in cash. There you go. So there's another Aaron, mate. I mean, it's a common name, but there's another Aaron in Canada who had to send me Canadian dollars, a transaction in Canadian dollars to enter the cash league. It was quite funny. But thanks for joining us, mate. Appreciate your company and yeah, great bloke. He is actually a really good bloke. He won our cash league. It was my personal cash league, which I'd been running for around about 6, 7 years maybe. And he's won it a couple of times, like big money, like over $1,000. So yeah, I had to like transfer it back to him and then work out how to do it without getting slugged a transaction fee and a conversion fee and everything else. So it was quite funny. But anyway, we worked out a way. But how's your team going, Aaron? How's your SuperCoach team? Hopefully better than mine, that's for sure. Let's have a look at the league. So we have 3 people joining us. Wildcard Blues. Rios Flaggers. Well, which is your team, Atush? Probably discussed already. I'm still ranked about 4.9k, but losing interest, mate. We're all, I reckon off the back of tonight's game, my interest is done because Rankin sunk me across 3 weeks now consecutively across finals. Likewise as well, Dawson, done stuff all, who I traded instead of Rankin. Very frustrating, but yeah, losing interest. Used my last 2 trades last week, getting out Miller and Callahan. Refresh the page. Okay. Bloody SuperCoach. What are you doing to me? Oh, here we go. Free Motlop. Come on, mate. Yeah, free him. Yeah, we'll delist him. That'll free him up. Atush, what do you reckon? In fact, you know what we do? I've got a bright idea. Let's trade Motlop with Ollie Hollands to North Melbourne for their top pick. I reckon that there will force their hand, surely. Surely. I like the fact that you've done the little logo as well. You've made it all black. Is that like the people had to do like the black square on Instagram in solidarity? Even won my cash league last week because my opponent had Nas. Oh no, spewing. Yeah, at least you had a bit of good fortune there. Paul Curtis is gone as well. I'll make you come around on Motlop, mate. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Motlop. I hope that he's going to be, like, sincerely, I hope he's going to be a good player. But, man, the Bunsons come in and eclipsed him in half a season, virtually. Like, come on. He's got to go to North. If we want their top... Okay, let me say this to you, Atush. If North Melbourne said, we want Motlop, and in return, we will give you our top pick, but only if you give us Motlop, would you agree to the trade? You have to. You have to. Even look, Jonas is saying odds on Motlop and Hollands to St Kilda. Mate, take him. Take him. I hate Motlop, no way. I take him. Spargo is way better. There you go. Fighting words from Corey. What say you to that, Atush? Yeah, he's a Sith. Yeah, he is a Sith. Or a Goth. If Motlop walks, so do I. mate, if you've said that, let me just say I'll miss you. I'll miss you, and we'll do collabs when Carlton plays Collingwood. Plays not Collingwood. When Carlton plays North Melbourne. When Motlop's traded to North Melbourne. Hey, we'll reconvene. It's all good. Yeah, we know how you feel about him, right, Todd. Just having a yarn, just having a bit of a gag. Hopefully he comes good. Hopefully. But speaking of coming good, that man right there. What an absolute gun. What an absolute gun. I'll go to a good club like Geelong or something. Mate, Geelong's not going to take Motlop. I'm sorry. I'll take Stengel over Motlop. Actually, Motlop might replace Stengel. What do you reckon? That actually might work. There you go. So we have an extra. Darren has joined us in the league as well. Good stuff. Hey, Kate, you've joined us. Kate, you have joined us on, I've just noticed, on the Discord. Which again, for those people that have not joined our Discord, let me grab the link, whack it in the chat. You can join us. And we'll wrap things up in a moment, ladies and gents, because I need to get to bed. I need to get some sleep. Yeah, Foss and Motlop can be a tag team in the WWE. I'll propose to Geelong to get back Jack Martin and trade Motlop. So that's the Discord link in the chat there. Click on that and join our Discord, which I think everyone here, or most people here, have joined. So all good. Get around it. Corey, my cousin, might potentially get drafted this year. There you go. Has got calls from 4 clubs like Blues, Pies, Eagles, and Freo. He's playing for Stingrays and Tassie this week. What's his name, Corey, if you don't mind us asking? Because I'll search him up. Especially considering that that my mob has sounded him out. That's pretty cool. Playing for Stingray, so he's underage, is he? Or bottom age, I should say. Underage. Voss and Motlop sound like some weird Wattpad fan fiction. Great show. I don't play SuperCoach. Everyone hit the like button. Yeah, dogs. Exactly. The fact that Atush, you've been here from the get-go for almost 2 hours, man, I don't know how I can repay you, apart from, as I said, lifting up or standing up and showing you my, from here down, where my jumper's cropped. Good stuff, Kate. Thanks for joining us. Good to have you among the lads, the sausage fest at the moment in the league. Sub on the way out if you're not. Well, exactly. Look at this. Again, cheerleading just to the extreme. So thank you, Atush. Appreciate your love and support, mate. Thoughts? I love Corey. Corey Durden's one of my favourites. Could have cried when he left. He's probably one player I could have cried over. Nah. But I did love Corey. He was maligned, but I was always in his corner. Bit of talent. Chad Bryant is his name. Okay, Chad Bryant. We'll check him out. Did really well in school footy and made the school. So hold on. There you go. Chad Bryant is a promising young goal-kicking forward from Haileybury. Identified as an intriguing prospect for the AFL draft. Caught the attention of recruiters with strong performances in the APS football competition. There you go. Good stuff. That's cool. Any news on him? There he is. Is this him? It's pretty cool, Corey. Good stuff, man. Good luck to him. It's awesome. Corey's been going well for Port. It's going really well. I got to stop saying cheerleader, I'm crying. Well, if you haven't watched it as well, if you got Netflix, check out the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Incredible for a number of reasons, like good eye candy, of course, but it actually is it's a good sort of documentary series because you get invested like as to which girls are going to stick around the team, which ones get cut. There's actually an Aussie as well that joins the team. Bit of a spoiler there, but yeah, pretty cool. Good story because I'm a NFL fan as well, so pretty cool to see the way that they treat it like it's an actual like competition itself, like it's its own full on profession and everything else. And they had to lobby for like higher pay and everything else, and they do like outside the NFL season, they do performances around what do you call it? Around Texas. It's crazy. Best coach, Voss v. Brad Scott. Neither. Who's the lesser of two evils there, Ross? I think anyone is decent of those two. We'll wrap things up, ladies and gents. We'll round things out with the last few comments here. Had a game, 13 disposals, 9 goals. Jesus. Very nice. 9 goals from 13 disposals. What was he doing with these other 4 disposals? Goal assists. Darren, do you think Spike McVeigh has the Bombers job? Fraser is blue coat. Yeah, Fraser will be unless if Carlton, I mean, it would be such a Carlton thing to go for just an untried random coach that instead of the bloke who's won us 10 wins in 12 games. But I think from what people are saying, Spike McVeigh it's either him or James Hird. I actually like James Hird, it must be said, but I want to see them go for James Hird just to prove to everyone that either he can coach or he can't coach. Like otherwise, people just will be like, in years to come, like, oh, we should have gone for James Hird. That he would have been like the tonic. Like, just give him a crack. See how he goes. He might like falter within 2-3 seasons, but who cares? Just do it. Like Essendon can't get any worse, honestly. If they need to turn around their culture, just do it. Durden was good for us. Had a number of bad games when he was rushed back from injury, sadly. At least we got Ainsworth in the trade. Yeah, exactly. I love you, Otush. Doing some great stuff. Love you, chat. Everyone have a good night. Only Carlton have a good sleep. Make sure you hug him up, Laptol. Oh, you lads, what are you doing? Great stream apart from a few anchors that stopped by for a while. It seems to be the case that we get a few people hijacking and talking shit, but we navigate through. It's always the way. Corey heard that Hurd would coach for free first year. Joe from Centre Bounce was saying that could happen. Surely not. I know that was spoken about, but if the Dons want to save money, surely they're not going to be doing that. Meanwhile, as you've said, Atush, we're winning the flag. 100%. Blues by 48. Good night to you as well, kind Sir Al, and all of the fellow baggers as well. Thank you, Kate, as well, for dropping by as always. Hope you've had some fun, and we're just chatting shit, really, outside of me venting about SuperCoach and how dumb it can be. When are we on next? Well, good question. We will be doing, I think, would you prefer that I do another live stream for the remainder of the season? So we've obviously got round 24 next week, the last round. So I'm happy to do my team talk live. I can try and do the episode live, the SuperCoach Edge episode live. I mean, the thing is as well, this time of year, people are out of trades and there's little to talk about. So it's probably more so an opportunity to do a Q&A. And we can just chat shit. So could probably do that as well. Do a live stream for the SuperCoach Edge episode. And then after that, we've got the captaincy as well. So we can even do all 3 as a live stream. So provided people are, playing ball and you're not going to hijack and just talk shit. I mean, you can talk shit, but don't be trolling the whole time. Then, we'll do a live stream. Bit of fun, bit of something else. Doing a live reaction. A raw reaction. Oh, sorry, yes. When we're talking about how's the hair all over the shop. Yes, I will actually, because what time's the game? 3-ish or thereabouts. We might try and do a raw reaction live stream over on Blue Baggers Edge if you are keen for it. Which, for those people who have not joined before we go, because once SuperCoach wraps up, we will be pouring all of our resources and time and stuff. If you wanted to continue, shooting the shit, doing live streams and stuff, I will be doing it over on my Blue Baggers Edge channel in the off season for SuperCoach, that is. So go and check it out. Again, you don't have to be a Carlton supporter. Don't have to be a Nuffy supporter. You can, as I said, we've got enough people from opposition teams coming across. We've got Collingwood, we've got Essendon, we've got a Brisbane Lion supporter. So this is the link. Make sure to give us a sub. And yes, Thursdays, as you said there, Jonas, we do a live stream every Blue Braggers Edge. We do a live stream every Thursday for team sheets. So we do that normally post, if there is a Thursday game, which there is normally, we do that live stream post game. So look out for, and again, sub to our channel because you will get notified of when we go live. Because normally I don't promote it ahead of time. I just kind of assume that the regulars will know that it's on post game, which is normally around about, 10:45, 11-ish, generally. So I'll be doing that again. Those will be the regular live streams on Blue Baggers Edge. And we will try and do a Raw Reactions live stream after the game on Sunday, after hopefully what will be a win over the Doggies. But we'll wait and see because I'm obviously going to the game. So depending on what time I get back, if I don't have work to do, because I'm working across the weekend as well, if I have some free time, I'll 100% do it. If not, you'll see that I won't be putting up a stream. But again, give us a subscribe over on our channel. And that is the best way to be kept abreast, as we always say, of when we go live. So I'll pop it on screen. This is what it looks like. So that's it. That is it. Agree with the herd comments. Yeah, well, hopefully, I think Bomber supporters are in two different camps. It's like some people are saying, yes, it's a good thing. Other people are saying, no, they should be going for a different coach. But yeah, I'd like to see him get the job personally. When are you getting a skin fade? Mate, if I was to fade my skin anymore, I would be transparent. I'm that white. So that is the YouTube link there. And we're doing, yes, the NFL SuperCoach League. So we will, again, join our Discord because we do have a little room in that. So if anyone that is keen to join our NFL SuperCoach League, I'll be doing discussion and chatter and stuff in there. I don't think I'll be doing content for NFL this season because I was doing it last season and the uptake was not good at all. And the amount of time invested in that, I think I can't afford that time anymore because obviously got my son and I've been pouring amount of content in to Blue Baggers Edge and SuperCoach Edge that I need a little bit of a break. That's for sure. So NFL side of things, join our Discord and we will have some banter and stuff in there. Promoted it last time on TikTok and Hinge. Yeah, good stuff. Indeed. Yeah, sure thing. Quite funny. Ladies and gents, with that, we will end things there. Thank you as always for tuning in. Really do appreciate all of your company, banter, everything else. Wouldn't be doing it without all of you. So again, we will be back. Next week, we'll do a live stream for our team talk, which will be on this Sunday, I should say, once SuperCoach is opened. So it will be late. That's the thing. So if you are keen, I'll jump on. I won't be probably promoting it ahead of time, just for those people that are tuning in here. Please jump on, a bit of a yarn, a bit of a banter. And after that, we will try and do a live stream for the weekly SuperCoach Edge episode, which probably will be on a Tuesday. We'll try and schedule that for. And then we will do probably our captain's episode on, say, the Wednesday or the Thursday. But outside of that, go across the Blue Baggers Edge, give us a sub, give us a like, I've said it a million times. Give us a sub, give us a like. And of course, check out the live streams over on that channel as well. Shout out as well, yes, of course, Tush, Mars, Dylan, Rocco, Terry, and myself, okay? Thank you, Todd. I don't know what is going on. Thank you again, Atush, for joining us, mate, all the way through. You don't even play SuperCoach. Just speaks to the quality of legendary man that you are. Alan, as well, been a quiet watcher in the background, and I really appreciate that, mate. So thank you for your support throughout. I don't know who the GOAT is, surely not me, but thank you, mate. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Ross. And he who shall not be named. Okay. Michael Voss. Oh, yes, of course, Michael Voss. Have a great weekend. Exactly right. Well done, ladies and gents. Hope your team wins, unless, of course, you broke for the Bulldogs. And come on, please help us out. Carlton, we need to win. And we hope that your SuperCoach miraculously has a win in prelim. Hopefully mine does. I don't know. If I'm a phoenix rising from the ashes, please let it be this week in SuperCoach. That would be very, very nice. Thanks again for joining us. Appreciate all your love and support, and we'll catch you in the next one. Go Baggers and go SuperCoach. I don't know. Catch you later.